What's up guys, my name is Shuaib and I am a certified strength and conditioning coach, co-founder of Kaizen Fitness, and I'm an Instagram influencer as well. So I think I started training when I was playing rugby for college. That's when there was a requirement for us to train to enhance our physical performance on the field. And this composed of two elements, both training in the gym as well as training on the field. And I think back then in college is when I first got into training. And since then, there have been times that I've been on and off regular training. But I think from January this year, it's been quite regular because I made a shift in my career and dedicated myself entirely to health and fitness. So in terms of training, I primarily focus my attention on strength and conditioning, coupled with, of course, high intensity interval training. So this is the format that I believe in. This is the format that I train in, and this is also the discipline that we take all our clients at Kaizen Fitness through as well. Yes, I do. My co-founder Darren Hakel and I, we work out together almost 6 days a week, so I think he's my workout buddy. So I work out anything between 3 to 6 days a week. So that means I focus on getting in 3 days at the bare minimum of full body strength and conditioning. And if I do get in my base of 3 days of full body workouts, I then move on to fit in 3 days of high intensity interval training. And the reason I do this is it is scientifically proven that the bare minimum of exercise that a human being needs in order to get the life-changing benefits of exercise is 30 minutes 3 times a week. So based on this, I make sure that I get in 3 days at the bare minimum. And if it is a luxury, I get in 6 days a week. In terms of diet plan, I'm not really a hardcore believer of diet plans. Not that diet plans don't work, but I'm someone who generally works out and lives a lifestyle of health and fitness that is in moderation, right? So I'd say I try to eat about 80% clean and 20% a bit outside the lines. But there are 2 blocks that I primarily follow. Number 1, I always try to watch my portion size, and number 2, I always pick whole foods over processed food. So these are the 2 biggest blocks that I try my best to follow in terms of my diet. I think in terms of workout culture, we are catching up to global trends. More and more people are inquisitive. They want to get into health and fitness. But at the same time, I see a lot of information asymmetry in the Sri Lankan fitness industry. There are 2 sides to the coin. Either you find trainers who know a lot but exploit clients, or you find clients that don't know much and trainers who also don't know much, and they both think they're on the right path, but they're not. I think it's simply because the fitness industry in Sri Lanka is quite premature and it's got a long way to go, but I'm really positive about the vibe that's there in the country right now because I can see people beginning to understand the gravity of having a healthy lifestyle. So I think we're headed in the right direction, but there is a lot of education that needs to go into this industry. Guys, you've got to set achievable goals, work towards it, achieve them, and get motivated. See, the thing is, most of us think you first get motivated and then you take the action. It's the other way around. It's action that brings you results and results that gets you motivated, right? So you've got to get moving. And if there is one piece of information I can give you for you to understand the gravity of investing in your health and fitness, see, aging of your bones, muscles, and brain cells is an inevitable process of aging. But it has been scientifically proven that regular and structured exercise can slow this process down. So if you want to age gracefully, I highly suggest that you start focusing on your health and fitness. Alright guys, we are at Kaizen Fitness. This is where I coach and where I train. So let's see what I've got for my workout today. Alright guys, so before we get into my workout, I'm gonna have my pre-workout. This is just organic green tea. I find this more than enough for me to get myself started. And throughout my workout, of course, hydration is important. So we're gonna be drinking plenty of water. And when I'm done with my workout, I'm gonna have my post-workout protein shake, which is just a scoop of whey protein and 5 grams of creatine. So in today's workout, we're gonna start off exactly how I coach my clients. It's going to be a session of flexibility and mobility, followed by a warm-up. Then we're gonna train our core, and after that, we're gonna move into strengthening and conditioning of our total body. Okay, so for flexibility and mobility, so guys, all our workouts here, what I do, what we do for our clients, it is scientifically backed and it's based on learned experience. So we have learned as well as noticed that inadequate flexibility and mobility and improperly warmed up muscles leads to improper performance of exercises as well as injury. So we're just gonna start off with this booster massage gun. It's gonna help us loosen up the muscles and break any knots in the muscles. So I'm just gonna start off with my chest area. We're gonna move on to upper back, make sure we loosen up the neck muscles. Alright, and then once we are done with our upper body, we're going to move into lower body. So we're going to start with the hip flexor muscle over here. It's a muscle that tends to get really tight, not just for people who work out, but even if you just sit in an office doing nothing. So we really emphasize on loosening up these muscles. We're going to move on to our quads as well. Just going to increase the speed a bit to get a bit more of a deeper tissue massage here. We're going to move on to your ITBs, another area that is popular for getting tight. Not forgetting our hamstrings. And of course the glutes, the big muscles. Last but not least, our calves. And we are done. Alright, so now that we're done loosening up our muscles and breaking all the knots, we can move on to our stretches. So first one, like I said, hip flexor, very important muscle. We're just gonna get down on one knee, have 90 degrees on our front leg. I'm gonna try to reach for the ceiling with this hand and push my left buttocks forward, really get a good stretch over here. Make sure you're keeping your torso upright and tall. Just hold for about 15 to 20 seconds. And after that, I'm gonna slowly rotate inwards without changing the position of my leg. Alright, so I'm just gonna get a really nice stretch by getting my leg up here. Again, 90 degrees. Get this leg as far back as I can. I'm gonna stay upright and tall. Lean forward. Alright, so that brings the stretches to the end. And now we're going to make sure that we get our muscles nice and warm before we head into our workout. Okay, so now that we're done with our stretches, we're going to get our muscles warmed up. So we're going to do a couple of dynamic movements to make sure that we really get our muscles warmed up and ready for the workout. So I'm going to start this first one off. It's a complex move, quite a functional one. So we're going to start by getting a reverse lunge into a knee hug and into a single leg Romanian deadlift. And I'm going to take a step back, down, just make sure that we get 5 on each leg. Really focus, make sure you're working on your balance and that you're really utilizing all your muscles. Alright, so we're done with that. We're going to move on to the next one. Get us shoulders warmed up and as well as our core, right? So this one's called bear crawls. Again, looks easy, but not really, okay? So you're gonna get into a position with your palms under your chest, knees under your hips, and you're going to maintain that setup, and you're going to move opposite hand, opposite leg. So this really works the coordination of your mind as well, stimulating the connection between your brain, your nerves, and your muscles. At the same time, there's a lot of movement going on, stabilizing your shoulders. You really need to flex your core in order to maintain this position. So we're just going to go 4 times up and down. Make sure that properly warmed up on that one. Okay, so the last one's going to be what we call the world's greatest stretch. Again, a bit of a complex move, but just getting in these few ones. As you can see, my heart rate is already elevated. This is going to make sure that I'm warmed up for my workout. So you're going to take a nice long lunge, place your knee on the ground, palm down. You're going to try to touch the floor with your elbow as much as you can, and then really opening up your hip flexors as well as stretching your lats. You're going to come up and repeat. Just down, here. Try to touch the ground, really open up, and repeat. All right, so now that we're done with that, we're gonna do the last one for today for our warm-up. It's a bear crawl again, but this one's lateral, all right? It's a bit more challenging. So you're gonna get back into that same position, and you're gonna move opposite hand, opposite hand. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna start with our core. This is quite an advanced movement, so I wouldn't recommend it for somebody who's just starting off. I'm just going to get my tracker on as well, because I like keeping track of my workouts and knowing how I'm doing, if I'm progressing, how many calories I've burned. So just going to get that ready. Okay, we're good to go. Okay, so this one's called a Turkish get up. Let me just show you how it is done. All right, so today we've got, on our first set, we've got deadlifts, supersetted with heavy kettlebell swings. So I'm gonna go up and load the bar for the first set. Okay, so as you can see, I'm not using an Olympic bar, all right? I'm gonna use a hex bar, or what we call a trap bar. So this has scientifically been proven to be much safer on your lower back. A lot of people injure their lower backs doing deadlifts. I know the Olympic bar looks a lot more fancier, but in our training facility, what we primarily focus on is results, but getting there safely. So I'm just gonna set myself up for the deadlift here. We're gonna be doing 5 heavy reps, followed by a superset with the kettlebell swings. All right, so done with 5 reps on the deadlift. I'm going to immediately move on to kettlebell swings. All right, so done with that set. That's one set, and we're going to do 3 sets of that. So I'm going to take about a 1.5 to 2 minute break to make sure that I'm recovered and head right back in the deadlift. So that's the end of our first superset. We're gonna move on to our next superset, which is gonna be dumbbell bench press, followed by plyo push-ups. All right, so directly into plyo push-ups, really shocking your central nervous system here, making your body really run for resource. That's the first set done. Got 2 more sets. I'm absolutely dying, but I love it. Alright, so we're gonna get started with single leg squats. I'm gonna use an elevation just so that I can get some really good depth in these squats. And as you can see guys, I don't fancy going super heavy. I'm more focused on technical precision. So we're gonna start off with left leg first. An absolute killer when it comes to developing your single leg strength and coordination. That brings that set to an end. I'm gonna go sit up for our last set. We've got one arm rows with hang clean. All right, so we're moving into our final superset for the day. I'm gonna start off with one arm rows. I'm gonna set up over here. So get into a nice position where my back is flat. Just gonna bring the dumbbell up. Then we're gonna move straight away into hang cleans. And that's the end of the first set. We're gonna take a small breather and get into the second. And that's the end of the second set. We're gonna move on to the last one. All right, so we are done with the third and final set on our workout. To finish things off, we're gonna do some cardiovascular conditioning on this air bike. So we're huge fans of air bikes because this is an impact-free cardiovascular conditioning, unlike something like something that we do in terms of running or jogging or anything like that. So I'm just gonna get on this one, do a short interval. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go 10 seconds as fast as we can. And for 10 seconds, we're gonna do nothing, all right? This is what we call interval training. So let's get started with it. All right, guys, that's the end of my workout. As you can see, I'm done. So is my workout, so I'm super drained out. Remember, your post-workout meal, recovery and nutrition is an essential part, so let's see how I nourish myself after a workout. See you guys there. Alright guys, so I'm at Health House by Fit Meals and I'm going to go grab my post-workout meal. So I'm just going to have a look at the menu guys and see what we're going to have for today. So I've decided to go ahead with the muscle bowl. It's got a perfect balance because generally I focus on having more proteins, fewer carbs and getting as many green veggies as possible. So the muscle bowl is an excellent combination of all of this. Like I told you guys before, I'm not too strict with my guidelines. Two main things: eat whole foods and watch your portion size. So I'm gonna go ahead and get myself a muscle bowl. So like I was telling you guys, post-workout I always get in a scoop of whey protein with about 5 grams of creatine, so I'm gonna have that. And I think my meal's ready, so thank you so much.
Enjoy your meal.
Thank you. That looks absolutely delicious. So I'm just gonna dive right in guys. I am absolutely starving after the workout. So guys, like I said, this meal is quite balanced. It's got basmati rice, almonds, I'm considering my favorite veggie, broccoli, carrots, I'd most certainly recommend this as a post-workout meal for anyone. Alright guys, so just a few things on nutrition. Like I said, I don't really dive hardcore into, measuring your macros and micros. Not that it isn't good, but I know it takes a lot of effort. So, I run my company, I need to create content for my Instagram page. I'm married, I've got family commitments and all of that. So I understand that it can be difficult to always get in that perfect meal and that nutrition. But with a little bit of planning, guys, I think you can eat at least 80% in par with what you should be eating, all right? I just think a lot of people, they get on a healthy meal plan, and the moment they get busy and life gets in the way and they miss 1 or 2 good meals, they end up just digging into junk and going completely off track. And it has even happened to me. So guys, the point being, we all fall off the horse at some point in time. But what's important is don't stay off the horse. Get back on. And that's the message that I want to leave with you, not just in terms of the nutrition, but in terms of your health and in terms of your fitness as well. Alright guys, I am done with my post-workout meal. That was an absolute pleasure. Big thank you to Fit Meals for this awesome meal. That's it from me, guys. Alright guys, that is it from me for today. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook or YouTube. Just type in Shuaib Jabbar and you'll find me. You can find my gym that was founded by my co-partner and I, Kaizen Fitness. Same thing, you can find us on Instagram at kaizenfitness.lk. And before I go guys, a huge shout out and a big thank you to High TV, My Fit Life show. This segment is absolutely awesome. I love what they're doing. You guys should stay tuned, subscribe, and stay tuned for more awesome content. That's it from me, guys.